Well, in last week's video, we were talking about freedom, the absolute joy
And we talked about
of freedom.
And we talked about slipping off the shackles of your responsibilities for a little while, didn't we?
Absolutely.
Spreaders!
Oh my God.
That's not bad. You got to the top spreaders for the first hoist of the year. But one that we didn't really cover was the fact that going to sea has its own responsibilities in its own way.
Basically, the first thing is you are responsible for the boat and the boat is responsible for you. So one of the things that Beverly and I do is we go through a checklist, and one of the things on our checklist is to check the sea strainer. And in our case, we had little bits of, I don't know what they were, but there was certainly some growth of some sort.
Didn't look good.
It didn't look good, but we did have some growth in our strainer.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that Beverly did before we even went out was check the life jackets, didn't you, Bev?
Yes, I mean, it wasn't a massive check. I didn't take the cylinders off and weigh them to make sure they were full of gas because they're fairly new cylinders, so I'm sort of got my fingers crossed. And I didn't have the time. I was a bit short on time. But I did check the arming charges to make sure that they were within date, and they're both good to January 2026. So since we're currently in March 2025, they should last another year at least before they need replacing again.
The other thing that she checked was that the canister was secured tightly, because I have known a guy and his canister was so loose.
It didn't do anything. All came out the sides, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a waste of time. So that was another little check that she did.
Yep, so something else we do is we have a checklist by the door, and you've seen it in lots of episodes where we run through and we check everything, and that comes from my flying days. And one of the things that always comes from my flying days is never interrupt a person doing a checklist. I broke my own rules.
We had lots of interruptions in our checklist.
We did. And I also broke another one of my own rules, which is when one of us does things, the other one checks it.
So when we were going through the first checklist, the reason I had an interruption was I was thinking, well, I want a cup of tea before I go off, so I'm not going to remove the AC cable. So I sort of like missed that step, and then I missed the next step after that, and it's like, oh, for goodness sake, and I did a couple of other things.
Yeah. You asked me about the sail bag, I said it was fine.
Exactly, and that was one of the things that Beverly was doing. She was doing all the upstairs prep.
Anyway, the sail bag wasn't fine, and this is what went down. So have a look at this clip. Almost there. Yeah, don't worry about them, they're nowhere near us. Wait a minute, something's... Whoa, something's caught. Now, you're going to say to yourself, or you're going to say to me, you're going to shout at the screen, why didn't you stop her earlier? Why did you let this happen? Well, the truth of the matter is that when you're standing at the helm, all you can really see is the tail end of the boom. Mainly what you're looking at as well, or what I'm looking at, is the reefing lines, because they tend to be the things that tangle and hold the sail down. If the reefing line gets twisted or caught or not running freely, that's what tends to hold the sail. Never look at the sail bag, because it never ever gets in the way.
But now she will do, because she noticed from the clip that the sail bag is actually rising, isn't it, Beverly?
Yeah.
And that should have made you aware that something was wrong. Equally, on my part, I should have been aware that something was wrong and gone and had a check, because I was really struggling to lift that sail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the whole point of having a manual winch rather than an electrical winch is that you should be able to feel when you're having things under stress.
When the winch starts fighting back, maybe you should stop.
Basically, yes. When the winch is struggling or having an issue, I should stop.
Do you know what? I think we were just so keen to get out and so keen to get sailing, because we weren't supposed to have wind. There was no forecast for wind. It was like force 2, which is nothing. But there it was, we had 18 knots of the stuff.
We wanted to get that sail up.
We wanted that sail up. So rules went out the window, and the sail basically pulled the zip clean out of the sail bag.
I have no idea how I'm going to fix it, but for now we're going to have to just sort of like, we've zipped it up as much as we can, and now every time we unzip the sail bag, we'll just sort of like pull it off, and we'll have to put the zip downstairs.
No, we don't. It'll be all right.
Oh, you found a plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to go into that. So anyway, what the purpose of the sail was for a sea trial, because we haven't really been out. I'm going to say we haven't been out for over a year. That's not strictly true. We did get a couple of sails in last year, but they were quite short, and some of them had no wind.
So even though you are free to do what you like, because of Beverly's flying, we put in for ourselves a sea trial because, first of all, to check over the boat, to check ourselves, and to basically help our skills.
We knew from past years that the first sail of the season is usually a bit of a balls up.
Yeah, with lots of messes about. I mean, so,
Like there was one year we got the main sheet so tangled on the winch we couldn't get the sail down.
yeah, you know, so that was one thing. This time it was the sail bag was our big error, but we also lost the strap thing. It wasn't a strap.
Telltale.
Telltale.
Yeah, we found this mysterious piece of red tape in the boat. Well, we just solved a little mystery. We just find this piece of red tape ribbon lying on the cockpit floor, and we couldn't understand where it come from. It's one of our telltales. It's obviously got a bit UV damage at some point, or a bit worn out. Or
I don't think it was UV damage. I think it was bevy damage.
oh, I see. When I ripped the sail bag, well, babe. So it's got to be. We have it, and it can be stitched back on again. That's the important thing.
Well, we're hoping it can get stitched back on again.
It will get stitched back on again. I'll go put it below decks where it's safe.
Yeah. At least we now know what it is. It is our telltale.
Yeah.
We're one down.
It's on the chart table. Ah dear. So we've got to figure that one out. Putting that back and what material it's made from, because I don't know. But we'll find out.
We'll sort it out. Just add it to my list of things to do.
We had a sea trial for the boat, and in a way a sea trial for ourselves to find out just how bad we were, and we definitely found that out. But at the same time, we got to look at the positive. A lot of things went right.
Well, it's so clear out here that we can see Scotland. I can see the Overlooking town.
Well, we've left Ballyhum Bay. It was a bit of a rolly anchorage, wasn't it?
Yeah, mainly because the wind was coming from the north.
Not a good condition for this anchorage.
Obviously there's a little bit more swell coming down from the North Channel, and it's just sort of like coming into the anchorage, isn't it?
And although there's very little wind in the marina, there's a fair bit coming down the North Channel, like I say. It's very unprotected up the North Channel.
It is. But the main thing is, we're up, we're out, and we've got the sails up, more importantly, and the engine is off. Oh, I do like to just
sail.
To sail.
So what's the manoeuvre? What am I doing?
Well, I'm just getting her off, so I'm in control.
Yes.
But what we're going to do first of all is, I think I'm going to do a tack.
Right, so you're going to go over that way?
I'm going to go over that way. So can you get yourself ready, please?
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready to tack?
Ready!
Tacking!
Ready about and all that stuff.
Ready about and all that stuff. We're going to have to get this right here one
Yeah.
day.
Leo or helm's a lee, whichever you prefer. I don't think it matters. And the boom's in the middle. Ah. Okay.
I think I've gone a bit too much.
Well, not to worry.
Which is why I want to do a couple of basic manoeuvres. Basically, I just want to get my sea legs right and know that I can do everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not going close hold, so you're on a close reach at the minute.
Yeah.
I could bring this in a bit.
I want to go 60, so I'm just...
Don't worry about the spades on the Windex because they're out of line.
No, I was looking at the this one here. So Beverly, I just need to be refreshed. I'm here at the moment. I want to go 60.
Well, then turn to starboard.
Starboard.
Because the wind's coming from port.
Okay, so I'm going to starboard.
Yeah.
So I want to open
Okay, that's enough.
open her up a bit. That's better. That's feeling good. So I'm just going to put the autopilot on back again. So click her into place because and she is ready. And I'm going to have to get out of this cold wind because it's cold out here. Oh, my jibe was superb. I really thought my jibe was brilliant. Admittedly, I had to remind myself which way I have to turn the boat for a jibe. Basically putting the bum through the wind. But once I'd reminded myself of that, I think the jibe went well.
You knew the bum had to go through the wind. It was just a case of what way was I going to turn the stern, because of course the stern turns backwards to the bow. The bow goes to port, the stern goes to starboard.
Yeah, that's certainly in this particular wind direction.
Well, any wind direction.
True. Well, whatever.
I see a bit more sea trialling is needed.
I do. So what I want to do is I want to do a jibe. I've already done a tack with a few little mistakes, but nothing major. So I want to get a jibe in just to remind myself of what the hell I have to do.
Go that way.
That was the first thing. You know, the wind is on that quarter, so I want to be putting my backside through the wind, so I need to be going this way. So I need to be turning the boat that way.
But I need to bring the main nearer the centre line so that when the jibe happens.
Yeah, so Beverly needs to bring the main in, because the one thing you don't want to do is have the boom swinging across wildly.
Because then I would increase my record of destruction today.
We do not want her record of destruction anymore.
I mean, I've already done the sail bag and it looks like a sail telltale. We don't want to do the sail itself.
Okay, I'm starting to turn the boat already, okay? I'm just going nice and slow so that we're not doing it dangerously.
Okay. Okay. Needs a midship, tip her through the wind.
Do you
There
know
she
it's-
goes. You know it's backed. Main's out.
And now Beverly's got to worry about the Genoa.
There we go.
But on my tack, I keep on overpowering my tack. I keep on forgetting that a half rudder is actually more effective than a full rudder.
Yeah, full rudder's like putting the brakes on.
It is, because the full rudder, the rudder actually causes like a brake because it's at 90 degrees to the way that you're going.
I don't think it goes quite that far over, but it certainly goes over a lot.
Yeah. Whereas, you know, sometimes half rudder, especially in the marina, half rudder is more effective than a full rudder. And I keep on forgetting this major point.
I was pleased with how the anchoring went. You dropped and I picked it up.
Yeah, I liked for myself the fact that we both did something each. Like Beverly dropped the anchor, but I was on the helm for picking it up. And remembering how to control the boat when you're very slow speeds and quite high winds is definitely a skill that I needed to be reminded of.
And although Ballyholme is only 1 mile away, the nice thing about it for doing a sea trial is it's close. If something goes wrong, you're practically right next to the marina. And let's face it, you don't want to find out something's wrong with the boat like 10 miles out and in the middle of the North Channel with a 20-knot wind blowing down on you. It's far better to find it like 1 mile from the marina, where you've got a bit of shelter, you can drop the anchor, you can contact somebody here, and maybe arrange for another boat to come out and tow you back in. That's a lot better than getting stuck in the middle of the North Channel.
Yeah, so if you are going to thinking about a sea trial for yourself, do like Beverly and I do and keep it close and keep it local. But also try and do a lot of the manoeuvres that you do, like I did a tack and a jibe. And you did a couple of tacks, didn't you?
I did a couple of tacks. I didn't do the jibe, but you dropped the anchor, I picked the anchor up again.
Yeah, just so that you both, well, for our case, we always make sure that we're both doing stuff. Like Beverly took us out, I brought us in. You know, and it's useful to just have that because you're always responsible for yourself and the boat.
And particularly when you're in here.
And the other crew.
Particularly when you're in here.
Oh yeah, you are responsible for a lot
because
more people.
There's not a lot of room to manoeuvre these things, and when the wind's blowing a stink, you know about it.
Yeah. I had a bit of wind on it, but I didn't have the huge amount of wind.
I didn't have the wind, but I had the audience clapping and cheering as we went past.
Which can be very off-putting, trust me on this.
So that's basically it. You know, when you're giving the boat a sea trial, give yourself a sea trial as well. Do all those manoeuvres you haven't done for some time. Do as many as possible. We didn't do a heave to. We did think about it, but
I just wasn't in the mood. I'd done enough.
Also, to a certain extent, the jibe is close enough to starting a heave to because you leave the jib backed.
Yes.
You know, and you bring the sail through the wind. So, like, if you just carried on with that, you would practically be heaved to.
I would have been, but
like I say, we couldn't be bothered. We were having a great time whirling up and down the loch. We were just having a good day.
Yeah, and yeah.
And that's the best thing of all. Go out, enjoy yourself. Yeah, you've got to be a certain amount of responsibility, but just go for it. Have fun.
That's it, looking good.
Okay, main sheet's in.
Right, it's got a nice hair, so we're going to have to go this way a bit. Oh, right, we have an S.
Go.
Go!
I'll be with you just in a moment.
Hiya!
No.
No, we're fine.
Thanks, that's it. Just a little bit more. Okay.
Chips.
Okay, I'm going to go forward, okay, Gainer? Bring the right hand, bring the right closer to the front down. Give it a bit of power. You're on.
I'm in neutral.
Right. That's the reverse. Quick. It's alright, Simon's got the lines.
Okay, can you get her on the back, Bev?
Yeah, I'm doing the best.